Welcome to Nerdy and Flirty, a podcast designed to help you create a life that you love. It's nerdy with science-backed information, and it's flirty. It's fun, it's quick, it's straight to the point. My name is Cass, and welcome back to the podcast, or welcome if you're new. I am really excited for this episode today because this one is just so real. I'm literally sitting in front of a little notes app of every step-by-step thing that I do in the morning. I feel like I finally perfected my morning routine. There is a sweet spot of too much and too little in the morning, in my opinion. If you do too little, you just don't feel good. You don't get enough in the first part of your day. But if you do too much, it's just too much. How long and sustainable is that morning routine if you have a million habits you're trying to stack right in the morning? Now, if that works for you, that's great. If you're one of those people that does a workout and you journal and you read and you do all these things before you go to work, that's amazing. I see it all over social media. I love to watch those aesthetic morning routine videos because they really are nice to watch. But for me, that's not really realistic when it comes to my weekday morning routine before I go to work. I leave for work at 6:30 on the dot, and I wake up at 5. And for me, that is the sweet spot of amount of time. Now, if I had a job where I could go in at 9, 10 a.m., yeah, maybe I would still wake up at 5 and do a bunch of things before work. But if you're like me and you go to work already relatively early, or you don't want to wake up at 5 a.m., you want to wake up at 7 a.m., and you're not going to go to the gym before work, this is kind of my sweet spot routine that I found that makes me truly feel my best. I do these things every day, and it's not too much, and it's also not too little. It's the perfect amount of things to do that make me feel good and ready for the rest of the day. So first thing is I wake up. And like I said, I wake up at 5 or 5:15 if I'm feeling extra tired. I actually notice that when I'm about to get my period, I get really tired, so that 5:15 does make a difference for me. But between 5 and 5:15, by 5:15 I want to be up and at 'em. And I keep my phone and all my technology completely out of my room. My phone is not next to me, so I don't snooze. I don't do any of that. I literally get up out of bed on my first alarm. I still have a bunch of extra alarms just in case, but I never usually hear them because I wake up on my first alarm. This definitely takes practice if you're not one of those people. It's a skill that you can build. You absolutely can build being someone that doesn't snooze. It starts with willpower and then it becomes routine. Now I don't even really think about it because my phone is always outside of the room and I have to get up and turn my alarm off and there's no other option. I do that, I wake up and immediately I turn off my alarm and then I make my bed. And my boyfriend and I have this rule that whoever is out of bed last has to make the bed. And during the weekdays, he leaves before me, before I even wake up. So I have to make the bed. And if you don't share a bed with anyone, then guess what? You're the last one out of bed. You have to make it. I really think that making the bed makes a difference because it's one of those things that's a little bit challenging when you first wake up, but it's not too hard that you can't do it. I really like having a chore that I do in the morning, whether it's making my bed, sometimes unloading the dishwasher, putting a load of laundry in. I like having something to do in the morning because it starts your day already feeling productive. You already got something done. Good for you. You got some dopamine, you got something done, and you just feel accomplished right off the bat. Also, having a made bed just feels better. Going into your bedroom again when your bed's already made and beautiful with your decorative pillows on it, that's a nice sight to see. So I like to do that. That's been a habit that I've had for years now, so I don't even really think twice about it. But just like the whole snoozing your alarm thing, if you're not someone that usually makes your bed, it starts off as something conscious that you have to make an effort to do, and then eventually it just becomes second nature. So then after the bed is made, I go straight to the bathroom and I tongue scrape. And I love tongue scraping. If you don't have a tongue scraper, go on Amazon. They're $4. I have a stainless steel one. You can get a pack of them for so cheap. It is such an amazing and satisfying habit to have in your routine, especially when you first start doing it. Oh my gosh, you will be shocked at what comes off of your tongue. It's crazy. Once you continually do it consistently, you don't have as much of that satisfaction right off the bat, but it's still so nice to do in the morning. I love it. It takes 30 extra seconds in your day, and it's something that's just fun for me to do. And then I brush my teeth for obvious reasons right after that. And tongue scraping, I swear, makes your breath smell better, just longer term anyway. So add the tongue scraping in and then brush your teeth. And then after that, I go into the kitchen and I turn my coffee pot on. I make my coffee. And while the coffee is brewing, I fill up my water cup for the day. I have a Yeti and I have a Stanley, so I just pick whichever one I want to use. And I fill it all the way up, and I try to drink as much as I can throughout the morning, but I don't sit there and chug it. Like, if you like to chug water first thing in the morning, good for you. For me, I just try to drink as much as I can without making myself feel nauseous. So I will drink my water while my coffee is brewing. I like to kind of habit stack and multitask. So if something takes a minute, like for example, the coffee pot brewing, I'll do something else during that time. So I'll fill up my water, I'll drink it throughout the morning. And I like to stay in my pajamas as long as possible in the morning. I usually sleep in sweatpants, t-shirt, tank top, anything, but I'll usually put on a hoodie, put on my sweatpants, and be in that for as long as possible in the morning. So while I'm in my comfy clothes and drinking my water, this is usually where I'll journal. I like to journal for about 10 minutes. And I'll sit down and I'll just write whatever's in my head. If you've ever read The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, she talks about doing morning pages in the morning, which is 3 pages of just a stream of consciousness. I do something similar to this. I try to write just whatever's in my head without any filtering, without worrying about my handwriting. I just write as sloppy and as messy as possible to get my thoughts out of my head. Now, I've been journaling basically my entire life. I have journals all the way from when I was 4 years old. I've done it my entire life, which is crazy. So this is a habit that is pretty easy for me to maintain. But if you're someone that has just started journaling or you want to get into journaling, just write whatever you can. You don't have to worry about doing 3 full pages right now. Write 1 page. Start it off easy, work your way up to it. I actually notice a relationship between when I journal, when I don't, and my mental health. So I notice usually when I'm starting to get into a funk or start to slip up, it's usually because I haven't been journaling. So I really try to keep this time open for me to journal, but sometimes I don't. But I still like this time to be something for myself. So if you don't like journaling, I know journaling isn't for everyone. I do recommend it to everyone to at least give it a try. But if it's really not your thing and you've tried it countless times and you don't like it, put something in your morning routine that is for you. That's time for you to sit with yourself and do something positive for your life, whether it's journaling, maybe you like writing affirmations, maybe you like meditating or listening to a guided meditation, or even reading for 10 minutes before you go to work, something that is for you where you can sit there, preferably in silence or listening to something positive for you to actually feel really good about your day and get started for the day. I find that when I journal in the morning, if I woke up in a bad mood, I can get it out on the pages and completely change my day around. It's important to have tools and techniques in your toolbox where you can turn a day around that started out bad. If you're telling yourself, oh, this is such a bad day, I'm so tired, I'm so this, I'm so that, have some kind of habit that signals to you, I'm in control of my day. I can turn my day around. I can make this a good day. I can make this a happy day. I can change my mood. For me, that's journaling. It might be writing an affirmations list for you. It might be listening to a guided meditation. But have something in your routine that is for you every day that makes you feel ready for the day, ready to conquer it. We're in control of our day. We can tell ourselves and completely change the narrative in our minds. That internal dialogue that we hear every single day, you can change it around and make it a positive one. So this is where I like to do that. And I just scribble it out. I don't make it this beautiful, amazing, lovely diary journal entry. I just write it out. I write out what I'm feeling. I write it out in sloppy handwriting. I draw pictures. I skip lines. I do the whole thing where it's not this aesthetic thing. It's not this sweet thing. It's just me getting out what's in my head, more like a brain dump. Sometimes I write 3 pages, sometimes I write 1. It doesn't have to be this cutthroat thing. It's supposed to make you feel good. So if you have habits in your day that make you feel good, you're going to feel good. If you have habits in your day that are more to just check a box to tell yourself you feel good, maybe that's not the right habit for you. And last thing for the journaling, I try to do this without anyone else's thoughts in my head yet. So this is before I talk to anyone. This is before I text anyone back. I try not to even read anyone else's text messages because I want it to be my own thoughts and my own narrative before I start responding to the needs of everyone else. So I don't like to check social media in the morning. I don't check my text messages. I don't check my phone calls. I don't call anyone. I try to just listen to what's in my own head. For me, I find that this really works. And even on the weekends, I try to do this with other people in the house and with more going on. I try to still listen to myself first, and then I can respond and listen to everyone else. After I do this part, that's when I'll go into the bathroom and I'll start getting ready. And this is where other people's thoughts and opinions and perspectives can start coming into my brain and into my space. So I usually like to play a podcast in the morning. I'll put it on my Echo and it plays in the house. It's nice and loud and I can hear whatever I'm listening to that day. This has been a new addition to my routine, but I really like it so far. It's where I just listen to a podcast that makes me feel good, like I've been saying. So I'll do my hair, I'll do my makeup, I'll drink my water, and in the background I'm listening to The Skinny Confidential, Andrew Huberman, like any podcast that I really like listening to, this is where I'll play it. I like listening to podcasts because I'm an overthinker, like I think a lot. So having someone else's narrative in my head does good things for me. Like it gets me out of my own head and into someone else's. The only problem with this is you want to make sure you're listening to people that actually are telling you good things. You want to be careful listening to gossipy, judgmental, critical podcasts or YouTube videos or whatever you're listening to, because that goes into your head. That changes your internal dialogue. I'm super strategic with who I listen to and when I listen to them because I want it to be people that I actually learn from, people that talk about overcoming adversity, people that talk about their successes, how they got there. Like, that's what I want to hear. So I'm really strategic and picky on who I listen to and when I listen to it. After this is where, unfortunately, I have to get dressed for the day. I hate this because I like staying in my PJs, but this is where I'll get dressed, put together my outfit. And then after this, my morning routine's almost done. I go into the kitchen and this is when I'll make breakfast. Lately, I've been making like a little egg sandwich or either like Greek yogurt or a protein shake. Something that has substance and protein for the day. And while that's being made, so like while my eggs are on the stove or while my protein shake is being blended or whatever, I'll pack up my lunch and pack up my work bag. I make my lunch the previous night, so I'll make dinner and then I'll make enough for lunch the next day. So it's already packed. It just has to go into my lunch bag. I'll put my snacks in and then I'll fill my water bottle again to fill it up for the day to bring to work. I'll get my coffee ready to go in my travel mug and I'll remote start my car so that it's getting warm. And then after that, my breakfast is usually done, like my eggs and whatever. So I'll eat and then I'll clean up. I'll wash the dishes, clean up whatever I need to clean up. I'll take my supplements because I like to take my supplements after I've eaten. So I'll take them. That's the last thing I do. And then I leave for work. And it's quick, it's short, but it's just enough to get me feeling good. I don't drink my coffee until I get to work. So that's 35 minutes after this. My drive is 35 minutes long. So I really don't drink my coffee until about 2 hours after I've woken up. I really like this. It's like a little treat for me when I get to work. And it's also just better for you to have your caffeine a little later in the day versus straight away when you wake up. I'll usually finish the podcast that I was listening to on my way to work. I also call my mom on my way to work and I'll talk to her for a little bit. And then I start my day. I go to work and I have a great day. I feel like I finally perfected this morning routine to really fit my needs. And it's because it's simple and it's effective. It's things that I need to do, but there's a little bit of self-love and self-care sprinkled in. Some things that I want to start my day with to make me feel the best that I can possibly feel. I think it's really important to have tools in your toolbox of habits that you can do to make you feel really good. Opportunities to say, you know what, I'm going to have a good day and not just kind of get into the flow of going day by day and nothing changes. It's really easy to get into a rut when you're doing the same thing every single day with no intention behind it and no excitement behind it. And if you're starting your morning routine with no excitement and just chores and things to do, it doesn't feel good. Like, it doesn't feel good to wake up and automatically be in defense mode. It doesn't feel good to wake up already responding and reacting to the whole world around you. For me, I need that hour and a half to myself where I'm not talking to anyone. I'm not worried about anyone. I'm only worried about myself and getting myself as prepared as possible for the day ahead of me. Because then once I'm in my car on my way to work, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk to everyone. I'm ready to make my day as best as I can. I'm ready to give all my efforts at work and everything that comes after work. But on my way and before that, that time is for me. And I like to spend that time for me. And that's not selfish. I'm definitely not saying that you have to make your morning routine exactly like mine. I really wanted this episode to just be kind of inspiration or support for you to say, you don't need to follow the fancy Instagram morning routines that you see. You don't have to do anything crazy in the morning. But I will say you should have at least 1 or 2 habits that just make you feel good. It doesn't have to be journaling. It doesn't have to be any habits that I said. It can be anything that you like. But experiment with it. Find things that fit your lifestyle and fit your routine. And most importantly, make it a routine that you like. Make it one that you enjoy. Find things that you can incorporate that start your day with passion, that start your day with purpose and excitement. So I hope you found some inspiration, some permission to do things that make you feel good in the morning from this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know what you think on Instagram at Nerdy and Flirty Pod. If you thought this was nice, share it with a friend. Give me 5 stars and nothing less. I hope you have a great day and a great week. I will talk to you next week. Bye.